Here's Maribel's story as she wrote it to me. When my husband of 12 years told me he wanted out, it felt like the ground disappeared under my feet. I was a 5'4" flight attendant who once weighed 118 pounds when we married. But years of emotional eating and chaotic flight schedules led me to reach 196 pounds. I felt invisible, and I thought my story was over. But heartbreak has a strange way of becoming a turning point. This is my deeply personal story. I share how 2 simple rules, no snacking and morning fasting, helped me lose 52 pounds in 7 months, rebuild my confidence, and reclaim my identity. From navigating long-haul routes to healing from emotional pain, this is the journey of how I transformed my life at 35,000 feet. And then came the moment that changed everything. At LAX, in my newly tailored uniform at 144 pounds, glowing and confident, I saw my ex-husband sitting by my gate. What happened next wasn't dramatic or cruel. It was the most heartwarming revenge of my life. This video is for anyone who has ever felt abandoned, overlooked, or underestimated. Your comeback may just be waiting inside your heartbreak. If you're ready to rise again, this story is for you. If you've ever been blindsided by someone who promised to love you forever, if you've ever felt yourself disappear inside your own life, this story is for you. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's simply becoming the woman you were always meant to be. My name is Maribel, and this is the story of how heartbreak reshaped my entire life at 35,000 feet and at ground level too. My glamorous beginning. When I met Joel, I was 5'4", 118 pounds, and full of energy, the kind of bubbly, fast-talking flight attendant who truly loved the job. You know the type, hair always perfect, luggage always packed, passport always ready for a spontaneous overnight in Barcelona or a last-minute reroute to Vancouver. Joel was a flight attendant too. Our life together looked like Instagram before Instagram existed. Rooftop dinners, weekend trips booked on a whim, matching luggage sets, his black, mine red rolling side by side through airports all over the world. We didn't have kids, and at the time it felt like freedom. Just the two of us, chasing sunsets and collecting hotel points. I honestly believed we were living a fairy tale. Here's the story of my slow weight gain. But fairy tales have shadows. We were together 12 years. As I advanced, my job came with irregular shifts, red eyes, long hauls, turnarounds with barely enough time to sleep. My body was constantly tired. And somewhere between turbulence and time zones, I started eating to soothe stress. I was determined to rise up the corporate ladder, and Joel was okay with my aspirations. Airport snacks, hotel muffins, sleepless night vending machines, the pounds crept on slowly but steadily. 120, 121, 122, 123, and finally, 196 pounds. I felt embarrassed because I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I had gone from the girl who walked quickly through terminals to the woman who avoided photos, avoided mirrors, and avoided buying new uniforms because I didn't want to face the next size up. And while I was struggling, Joel stayed slim and smug. We did enjoy my boost in salary, and Joel never seemed fazed that I earned more than he did. But regarding my weight, he never said a cruel word. But sometimes silence is louder than shouting. His glances told me everything. The marriage cracks. 12 years into the marriage, something shifted. I felt like I was shrinking inside, not physically, but emotionally. I noticed things. He stopped reaching for my hand, stopped asking about my trips, stopped planning adventures. It was like the matching luggage sets were the last things still holding us together. Then one evening, After I'd come home from a long-haul flight that had me awake for almost 22 hours straight, he looked at me with this distant, almost cold expression. He said he wanted out, just like that. No long conversation, no attempt at repair. He wanted out. It felt like someone had pulled the emergency slide under me, and I was free falling with no oxygen mask. The breakdown before the breakthrough. The next few weeks were a blur. I cried in airport bathrooms, cried between flights, cried folding laundry, cried into hotel pillows. Joel found a place easily and was gone. It was awful telling our parents. I felt discarded. I knew I was no longer the beautiful, slim, exciting woman he married. And for a while, I just couldn't believe he had left me. I thought I'm still the great woman I always was, except for the weight. But here's the thing about heartbreak. It can either break you open or break you down. One morning, after a restless night in a Chicago hotel, I looked at myself in the mirror, swollen eyes, messy ponytail, uniform pulled uncomfortably tight, and something inside me whispered, "This is not who you are." That moment wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, simple, but it was a turning point. Here's how my weight loss journey began. The no snacking rule, my first step back to me. I didn't join a fancy program. I didn't hire a trainer. I didn't do anything complicated. I started with one tiny rule: no snacking, not in the galley, not in the airport break room, not on the shuttle ride to the hotel. Then I added one more rule: no food before noon, just coffee, water, and a sense of calm returning to my body. Those two changes didn't feel like punishment. They felt like breathing again. At first, the weight came off slowly, then faster still. My mornings were clearer, my cravings quieted, my confidence, that sparkly flight attendant confidence, started flickering back to life. I started to have more fun with the customers. The result: 7 months, 52 pounds gone. Over the next 7 months, I dropped 52 pounds. I walked at every destination where time allowed and swam in hotel pools for as long as I could. 196 became 180, then 165, then 150, then 144, a weight that felt strong, light, and felt completely right. I didn't chase skinny. I wasn't fanatical about losing weight. I was just constant. It took months, but with the pounds steadily dropping off, I found myself again. My skin glowed. My new uniform fit beautifully again, tailored and crisp. My posture changed. My walk changed. My energy on flights changed. Passengers even commented, "You look radiant. You must love your job. Your smile is contagious." And I did love my job again, because I love myself again. My new route, a new life. With renewed confidence came another promotion. I transferred to a premium international route, long-haul flights to Europe, Asia, and South America. New crews, new cities, new friends, a whole new chapter of my life. I wasn't the woman Joel walked away from. I was the woman I had always hoped to become: polished, graceful, joyful, and deeply at peace. But life wasn't done with its poetic timing. The airport revenge. There were times when I had seen Joel at a distance boarding as I was leaving a flight, never close enough for him to really see me. It happened at LAX. We had just landed from Seoul. I stepped off the jet bridge with my crew, laughing, feeling light, feeling powerful, wearing my perfectly fitted uniform, a little red lipstick, and that new confidence that comes when you've rebuilt yourself from the inside out. And then I saw him, Joel, sitting near my gate, head down at first, then looking up, then staring. It took him a moment, then another. Then his eyes widened. He looked more shocked than if he'd seen me flying the plane. I felt a strange calm, which was warm, soft, almost protective. The kind of calm that says, "You made it. You're okay. You're more than okay. I felt if I wasn't good enough for you when I was overweight, I sure don't want you now. Imagine if I had cancer. He probably would have left then as well. And the sweetest part, I didn't need to prove anything. I didn't need to make him jealous, didn't need to flaunt anything, didn't need to make a scene. I simply smiled at him, a small, polite, gentle smile, and kept walking, surrounded by my congenial poking fun crew. He hadn't left me. He had lost me. And it was the most heartwarming revenge I could have ever imagined. Rewriting my future, that encounter wasn't the ending. It was the beginning. Because after transforming my health and my life, something unexpected happened. People started asking me how I did it. Flight attendants, pilots, gate agents, airport shuttle drivers, everyone wanted to know my system, the simple tools that helped me lose weight on a chaotic schedule. So I created something new, an online travel health coaching program specifically for airline workers. I teach them in this internet course I created all about how to lose weight, the no snacking rule, morning fasting, healthy hotel habits, jet lag recovery routines, airport meal survival tricks, emotional eating tools for stressful flights, body confidence for people in public-facing jobs. And the best part? Hundreds of airline workers have already changed their lives using these exact techniques. I still work for my airline, but I'm also a content creator. My heartbreak became someone else's hope. My pain turned into purpose. My runway of loss became a runway of strength. Looking back at the woman I was, sometimes I look at old photos, the hardest moments, the puffy eyes, the forced smiles, the too tight uniform jackets. I don't feel shame anymore. I feel tenderness for the woman I was, who is what I say, had some troubles. Because that woman, that exhausted, hurting woman, was doing her best. She kept showing up. She kept flying. She kept trying with her job and her fella. But he let me go. She became the foundation of the woman I am today. Here's my real revenge. People think revenge is about making someone else regret losing you. My close friends do ask me about him seeing me and did I feel revenge. But real revenge, the kind that softens your heart instead of hardening it, is different. Real revenge is becoming so at peace, so alive, so aligned, that the past simply can't touch you anymore. I don't hate Joel. I don't resent him. I truly hope he has found happiness, because I have mine. And it didn't come from him. It came from me, from rebuilding, renewing, and rediscovering my own worth. My message to anyone watching, if you are going through a breakup, if someone made you feel small or invisible, if life pulled you off your path, please hear me. You are not done. You are rediscovering yourself. And when you rise, because you will, it will be the most beautiful transformation of your life. Your comeback may not happen overnight. Mine didn't. But step by step, rule by rule, morning by morning, you can rebuild your identity, your confidence, and your joy. And one day, maybe in an airport, maybe in a grocery store, maybe online, someone from your past might see the new you. And they'll realize they didn't walk away from the woman they once loved. They walked away from the woman you were destined to become. And trust me, that is the sweetest revenge of all. Thanks for listening to my story, and I hope it has given you strength.